and thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Aaron Porras, here with ILTV's Morning Briefing.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has officially taken off to Kenya for a visit that should include meetings with 11 African leaders. The official reason for his one-day trip is to attend the inauguration of Kenya's recently re-elected president, Uhuru Kenyatta. But Netanyahu was also there for one of his government's newest focuses, developing ties with Africa. In the past 2 years alone, 4 Israeli diplomatic offices have been opened on the continent, and the Israeli Prime Minister says he hopes to open yet another by the end of today. In July of 2016, Netanyahu became the first Israeli leader in decades to travel to Africa when he visited Uganda, Kenya, Rwanda, and Ethiopia. 3 people are dead and another seriously injured following a massive explosion in Jaffa, Tel Aviv. A building collapsed into a literal ball of flames following the explosion last night, which took place at a paint store in the southern Tel Aviv neighborhood. Police say 3 bodies were found in the rubble after firefighters managed to extinguish the blaze. Another 5 people have been injured, one of which has sustained critical injuries. They've all been evacuated to the hospital and treated for shock. Police are saying that the explosion was caused not by terrorism, but by an illegal gas cylinder that had been attached to the building without required safety measures and inspections. And it turns out that the paint store itself wasn't properly registered in the first place either, nor did it meet fire codes for businesses that contain highly flammable materials like paint. At this time, 2 of the deceased victims have been identified as Rimon Huri of Jaffa and Ali Abu Jama of Taibe. A controversial new bill has just cleared a major hurdle and may very well soon become Israeli law. The law would outlaw police from recommending criminal indictments to the Attorney General on any current and future investigations. But here's the issue. It's largely seen as a move by the government to protect Prime Minister Netanyahu from multiple corruption charges of his own. The Ministerial Committee for Legislation passed the bill after weeks of fierce debate. Proponents defend the move as a reasonable measure to protect the reputation of citizens who are eventually found innocent in court. But given the bill's unusually speedy push through the Knesset at a time when Netanyahu himself is facing multiple criminal investigations of alleged corruption, critics blast it as an obvious attempt to protect Netanyahu from possible fallout of criminal indictments. A member of Netanyahu's Likud party actually proposed amending the bill to apply to only future cases and exclude Netanyahu's current affairs. The party responded by removing him from the committee and replacing him with one of Netanyahu's closest confidants. Another part of the bill being fiercely debated is that it blocks investigators from revealing the results of their investigations, even if they believe criminal activity did indeed occur. It also jails police who share this information with the public. The bill needs further votes before it becomes a law, but given its momentum so far, many believe that's very likely to happen. A prominent American Jewish leader has been holding secret talks with Qatar, all in an effort to retrieve 2 Israeli citizens and the body of 2 IDF soldiers that are being held by Hamas. Malcolm Hoenlein is the executive vice chairman of the Conference of Presidents of Major American Jewish Organizations, and he was in Qatar just a few weeks ago to discuss the issue. Right now, Hoenlein is refusing to comment on his meetings with Qatari leaders, saying that he's maintained covert contact with Arab and Muslim countries for years and that he doesn't want to break their trust. But according to Israeli media, Hoenlein is also reportedly reaching out to the Turkish president in hopes that Erdogan will be able to persuade Hamas to return the Israelis in question. Israel is particularly upset with Qatar for the country's continued support of Hamas. It looks like an Israeli musician is making waves internationally. Noga Erez's music has just been featured in an Apple Music ad. The 27-year-old electronic artist emerged onto the scene back in 2016 with her first single, Dance While You Shoot, and today she's one of the strongest voices in electronic dance music scene worldwide. Apple certainly thinks so too, because the anthem that shot her to fame is the background on their latest Apple Music TV commercial. It's a big deal for a young musician who barely just finished studying musical composition at the Jerusalem Academy of Music a few years ago.
That's all for now. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.